All opposed, same sign. With the unanimous vote, the last meeting's minutes passed. So again,
I move to bring up Bill 15-01.
Second.
it's been properly moved and seconded to bring up Bill 1501, creation of PSG Committee on Mental Health. It's amendable, debatable, and requires a 2/3 majority vote. Is there any discussion at this time? Again?
I'm gonna eat my foot for a second. I'll admit it. I was the one who initially called for us to table this, and I know there was a lot of discussion behind it in our first meeting. But after we've been through a little bit, and the ball's rolling now. I think that looking into this again would be beneficial to Purdue, to our constituents, and to the members of PSG as a whole. That's all I have right now.
Senator McDonald?
Okay, so we made two major changes based on the issues we ran into last year. The first of which is the task force is happening now. We've had 2 meetings, and we've seen that we've got a lot on our plate between sexual assault prevention, mental health, all that. And it's become very clear that the long-term CAPS initiative doesn't have any place in the city task force. We just don't want the task force to work on. So this allows for us to have a separate entity that's going to work on that project. The other change is that Becca is not going to share it as part of making its own separate entity, as well as the fact that Becca doesn't have to do it. So with that, I move to amend to strike in the therefore clause just the phrase chaired by Vice President only.
Okay.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to change the therefore clause to just to,
Strike just chaired by Vice President only.
Mackenzie McDonald, is there any discussion about this amendment at this time?
Bit of information. Do we require a chair for this committee within the bill when we create this committee?
No.
Does anyone have an answer to that question?
Yeah, raise your name placard if you do. Sam?
I know, I don't have the concept in front of me, but we don't have
Actually
any
do.
information about any other leadership in any of our set committees, so I don't think it should be an issue.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think I remember reading. You have it in front of you.
Does someone want to look it up?
Yeah, I'll look it up. But I think I remember reading that when we make an ad hoc, we have to have a chair.
I
I'll
think
look
so,
right
too.
now. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Were you intending for this to be chaired by someone in Senate or just someone in PSG in general? Or?
I don't have a preference.
Sure.
I need to amend the amendment to say chaired by Mackenzie McDonald.
Second.
Yeah. It's been
Oh,
properly moved and seconded to amend the amendment. I mean, that was what the amendment was to begin with, wasn't it?
no, it was just strike through.
Well, no.
So now we're adding her, but
Okay, yeah. Yep. To strike and to say chaired by Mackenzie McDonald. So the amendment to the amendment requires a majority vote. It's been properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion at this time, Sharif?
Direct question to Mackenzie McDonald, or Senator McDonald. Do you have the time and/or inclination to chair this committee?
I'm going to say absolutely. This has been my initiative since I started with PhD, and I'm really passionate about this. I've done a lot of work with CAPS. I really saw the relationship with Director of CAPS, Dr. Friday Welch, and it's something I would be honored and absolutely love to do.
Is there any further discussion at this time? Seeing none, we will move to a vote. The amendment to the amendment on Bill 1501 to change it to say chaired by Mackenzie McDonald. All in favor, please raise your name placards. It's a unanimous vote. So the amendment to the amendment passes, and we are now on the amendment to strike the clause saying chaired by me. Yes? Is there any further discussion at this time? Seeing none, we will move to a vote. All in
Information, we're not actually voting on striking it since we changed that. We amended it. I guess we're just.
That's
voting-
why.
We're voting on
Voting
making
on
the
saying
initial
it
bill.
again.
The amendment was strike it, and then we amended the amendment to say strike it and add.
So if we,
Technically, it's striking.
Yeah, that's why I got so confused. Thanks.
I mean, it'll work.
Okay, yep, well, I think you guys just wanted to mess with me, there's more amendments to the amendments. Alright, so all in favor, please raise your name placards. Alright, good. It's unanimous, yeah. Okay, so the amendment, the original amendment passes. Is there any further discussion about Bill 1501 at this time? Seeing none, we will again move to a vote. All in favor, please raise your name placards. It's unanimous, okay. And again, with the unanimous vote, Bill 1501 passes. So that concludes the old business. Moving on to new business. Very good.
I move to bring up Bill 1516.
Is there a second on the floor? Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to bring up Bill 1516, Elections Director Nomination. It's amendable, debatable, and requires a majority vote. Is there any discussion on the floor at this time? Yes. No. Yeah. Is there any further discussion at this time, Sharif?
Open question. Can anyone speak to this election director's qualifications and or time commitment availability? Because I recognize that was a question, or that was something that was brought up as a question when this was initially discussed.
Okay, I'm going to go in the order that I saw it. Senator Morrison.
I briefly know him just this semester, and he seems like a stand-up guy who is committed to whatever he says he wants to do. Like that, so I know he's got the commitment. I don't know about his time frame though. I don't know what his time schedule is, so I can't speak on it.
Senator Romery.
So I was in PSG last year as a director when Henry was an associate director, and I saw him a lot in the office doing a lot of work, so I know that he's a hardworking guy in PSG especially. I always see him wearing his I voted shirt like we had last year, so I think he would do a good job with the elections. And in terms of time, I think part of the reason that we tabled it before was because of the whole issue with senior policy advisor and the shifting of positions in general. So I think he has the time. There were just other issues why we tabled it before.
And I know Mike isn't here, otherwise the author of the bill gets to speak on it, so if anyone wanted to yield time to me, Senator Young.
I would like to yield time to that.
Thank you, Senator Young. So yeah, President Young obviously isn't able to be here tonight to speak on behalf of this bill and the nomination, but I was also a director at the same time that Henry was an AD, and he was extremely enthusiastic and has shown so much commitment to PSG in general. I mean, it's been a little confusing with, I think, what role he exactly wanted, but I think he will do a really good job. I mean, he's been committed. You see him in the office all the time for office hours and just hanging out. Would be at so many table talks that, you know, he's done an awesome job, and I think he would do a good job with that. So, is there any further discussion at this time? Seeing none, we will move to a vote on Bill 1516, nomination of elections director. All in favor, please raise your name placards. Is there just, okay, so there's just one. Are you voting yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, yep, okay, so there's just. Oh, okay. Yeah, Debbie is a proxy for Councilman, sorry. Got it? Okay. So, it passes.
All for opposition and abstentions.
Oh, I'm sorry. All opposed, same sign. Abstentions. So with a vote of 2302, Bill 1516 passes. Senator Romer.
I move to bring up Bill 1528.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to bring up Bill 1528, co-sponsorship of Research Roundtable. It's amendable, debatable, and requires a majority vote. Is there any discussion at this time? Senator Romery?
So I think that they gave a nice presentation, and I really like the event in terms of it's unique, it's something different, and I think it would really benefit, has the potential to benefit a lot of students, especially with our funding. They can make it bigger and go out and get more people. So I think it's not very much money comparatively to some of the other co-sponsorships, and I think it would be very worth our co-sponsorship money.
Sarah Malloy?
Yeah, I've been to the event the last 2 years, and each year it's grown. And so I'm interested in research, and there aren't a whole lot of outlets to go out and look for research. So I think it's a really good thing for students in STEM, especially, to go out and expose themselves to some of the research opportunities on campus.
Senator Friedland?
And I am almost positive I could direct the question on, but it's not only just for STEM either, it's for based on interest. So I want to stress that it's not limited to the colleges of science and engineering. It really applies to a wide variety of different interests in different colleges.
Senator Getty?
I would like to direct a question to the two representatives. Is this close to, I'm going to say education, because those are my constituents, would someone from the College of Education be allowed to attend?
Yeah, they'd be allowed. Primarily it's technology, engineering, science, agriculture.
But anyone is able to attend.
Okay.
Is there any further discussion of? Yeah, Senator Teeter?
Direct question. Do you guys have the demographics for attendance? Like demographic breakdown, or is
I
Sharif?
I think really regardless of what you're looking at, which demographics, even if we only get 250 students, they're asked, that's basically a $3 per student breakdown for a really good opportunity to network with faculty and possibly get research solutions. I know that we have a lot of money and a lot of funding, a lot of events for career fairs and stuff like that, and for job fairs and all that stuff, and a lot of people take advantage of those for internships and co-ops and such. And I think funding opportunity that is student run for research as well is a really good idea.
Is there any further discussion at this time? Seeing none, we will move to a vote. All in favor, please raise your name placards. Okay, all opposed, same sign. Abstentions? So with a vote of 22 to 1, the Bill 1528 co-sponsorship of Research Roundtable passes.
Motion to bring up Bill 15-29.
It's been properly moved and seconded to bring up Bill 1529, updated student fee advisory board funding guidelines and requirement. It's a amendable, debatable, and requires a 2/3 majority vote. Is there any discussion at this time?
Just right, my husband caucus, we're required to give an updated version of this every year to SFAB. And this is a fairly comprehensive edit to it that makes it match up a lot with the requirements listed in the SOGA guidelines. And it helps to make sure that everything is clear and cut and there aren't any loopholes for things that we would not like to fund.
Okay. Any further discussion at this time? Seeing none, we will move to a vote. All in favor, please raise your name placards. Okay. So with a unanimous vote, Bill 1529 passes. Senator Getty.
I move to bring up Bill 1530.
Is there a second on the floor? It's been properly moved and seconded to bring up Bill 1530, SOGA Board 2015-2016. Is there any discussion on the floor at this time? Senator Teeter?
I'm just curious, how many of these people were previously on SOGA?
Anna.
Senator Malloy?
Anna was at least.
Barry?
Can I take a look? There's the old bills. I can verify exactly.
Oh yeah, it's just on Laura's desk. Wait, do you really need to know that much?
No.
It's, yeah, it's not worried about, it's okay, I think it's okay. Is there any further discussion at this time? Yes.
On behalf of Taylor, she wants to know, I want to know that SOGA members need to be approved by the Senate for our bylaws. The members have been appointed by the student body treasurer, and many of them have served on the board before. Taylor and Peter do not need to be approved since they have to be on SOGA. Yes.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, we will move to a vote. All in favor, please raise your name placards. It's unanimous, okay. All right, moving right along. Senator Getty.
This says 15 dash question mark, but I move to bring up Bill 15-31.
It's been properly, well, is there a second? Second, okay. It's been properly moved and seconded to bring up Bill 1531, otherwise known as 15 question mark. Co-sponsorship of Operation Heart. Is there any discussion on the floor at this time?
Just going to let everybody know what the event is. It's coming up a few Saturdays from now. It will be from 9 to 1 at Christ United Methodist Church. It's an event in which one of the organizations in the College of Pharmacy is serving the community, educating them about heart disease. Target really everybody in the community, including undergraduates, children, adults. Expecting around 400 people this year. Offering them education, including healthy cooking demonstrations, Zumba sessions, CPR demonstrations. We have a medication take-back program with the police department, children fitness and games. We will have a blood drive, free blood glucose and cholesterol screenings, as well as flu shots. It really does take a lot of work from students to be there. Last year, the student turnout was great, and the community showing up was not so great. And so the bulk of the money this year is in advertising and marketing for the event to have more people and more of the community showing up to be able to take advantage of the event.
Sarah Young?
A direct question to Senator White's proxy. Would you say that this gives students like a real world opportunity to use their skills that can be applied to their work after they graduate?
I would. As I mentioned, the glucose and cholesterol screenings would be real world experience as retail and other pharmacists are able to do that, as well as if you are certified, as I am, we are able to administer flu shots at the event.
Thank you.
Senator Getty?
We talked about this, and Noah asked, or Senator White, sorry, asked me to move to amend everywhere in the bill. So in the first whereas, the final whereas, and in the therefore clause where it says American Pharmacists Association, I move to amend to say Academy of Student Pharmacists.
So where is this, the first whereas clause?
Yes, the first whereas where it says the therefore clause. It's not the name of the organization in Boilerly. The official name is Academy of Student Pharmacists.
Academy of Student Pharmacists?
Yes.
I second the motion.
Advisors for anything?
I can, I'll forward the email to you.
And then the therefore clause as well. Okay, so the amendment to change it to Academy of Student Pharmacists has been properly moved and seconded. This amendment requires a majority vote. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing none, we will move to a vote on this amendment. All in favor, please raise your name placards. Okay, it's unanimous. In favor of the amendment. And we are back to discussion on the floor of Bill 1531. Is there any further discussion at this time? Eddie?
Direct question to Senator White's proxy. What is the location of the Christ United Methodist Church, and how many of the anticipated 400 participants do you expect to be produced?
The location of the church is it's in Lafayette. I think it's 18th Street. It's not too far from campus. And as far as how many to be Purdue students, I really have no idea.
Is there any further discussion? Yeah.
I am worried about one thing that was said, that the bulk of funding this year was going to be to get community involvement. I mean, we're kind of representing the student body, and I think it's great that there was a huge student turnout, and that's really all I'm concerned about sitting here at this table right now. And I think that that's a lot of money to be given for community people to come in to do something.
There you go.
I think it is important to keep in mind the fact that this will give pharmacy students a chance when they go into job interviews to talk about real world experience that they've had. It also does give them a chance to go out in the community, put on their resume, things like that. And it can benefit Purdue students as well.
Senator Stafford?
I think that this co-sponsorship is a good co-sponsorship. I understand if there could be concerns that it is a community event. However, heart disease affects all of us in some way or another. A family member, it could eventually be yourself. So having Purdue students be able to outreach to the community so that those families have the opportunity to be aware, I think that that's a really big thing for us to push.
Senator Emery?
I've got a direct question to Senator White's proxy. So how essential is the $2,000? Could it be, say, 1,000 or some lower amount? Like, is that 2,000 for a specific reason that you need 2,000?
I would think it is very essential as it is coming up very soon. As far as further breakdown, the advertising, as I mentioned, $1,000 of that is going for postcard bulk mailing across the community. 500 of it's going towards lawn signs and campaign signs. Then the remainder, $50 is going to itineraries the day of the event. 300 is going towards t-shirts for the volunteers at the event so that the community members are able to realize people who are volunteering and helping them out. And then $150 is going towards poster boards and supplies to make those poster boards, the actual education about high cholesterol or so be it. So there's a lot of things it's going towards, so I would say it's very essential.
Sharif?
Open question to either Treasurer Boyd or anyone who would know. How much have we already spent on co-sponsorships this session?
This session, I just walked those.
Okay.
By the way, welcome, Treasurer Boyd.
We spent 5,000 in total before I got here.
750.
So then it's,
5750.
Okay.
yeah. Okay, Jerry?
Motion to amend the numerical clause.
Is there a second?
Second.
We can't repeat that.
Yeah, 2001.
She is moving to amend the therefore clause from 2,000 to 1,000. Is there a second on the floor? Second. Okay. Is there any discussion? Okay, seeing none, we will move to a vote about this amendment. All in favor, please raise your name placards. sign. Abstentions? 4, 5, 6, 4, 5. Okay. With a vote of 16-4-5, the amendment to Bill 1531 passes. Change the therefore clause to $1,000. Is there any further discussion on the floor at this time? Yes.
Is any of the marketing going specifically to Purdue students?
As far as I'm aware, the bulk mailing of postcards is going to be in the Lafayette area, so that will probably include off-campus housing students, I would have to assume, due to their location within the community, as well as the lawn signs and campaign signs that will include the Purdue community, so yes.
Senator Friedland?
I will say how important events like this are. I mean, it affects me personally. When I was in high school, I had an event like this at our high school, and I ran an EKG machine, and actually found out I had a heart murmur, which I might not have known if they didn't have an event like this going on. So, especially with the decreased amount and the much more realistic number, I really think that this is a big initiative, and I think it can, I mean, if it helps one person, it's really worth it in the end.
Thank you, Senator Friedland. I don't know who was next, Senator Malloy.
Is there like a plan for, like, how do you, or what's the vision for how students who don't have a car or something get to the event? Or is there a vision?
There's not.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
I think it's also worth noting that, from what I understand of this event, you need off-campus, or like you need community members so that the students can participate and actually learn. Am I correct in that? Right? So these community members are directly related to what the students are going to be getting out of it. I mean, if you want to raise questions about like whether the better way to do that, that's fine. But I think that it's an integral part of this event, and it seems like it's pretty clear that it's crucial that we reach out to them.
Yes.
Now that the press is released a little bit, I'm joking.
Thank you, Senator McNeely. Is there any further discussion at this time? Seeing none, we will now move to a vote. All in favor, please raise your name placards. Sorry, keep them raised. Okay, all opposed, same sign. Okay. Abstentions? With a vote of 21 to 1, Bill 1531, co-sponsorship of Operation Heart passes. Oh, sorry, yeah, 22 too. It's been a long day, guys. Yeah. Guys, I really, 21 to 2. Still a passes of this. Alright. Moving right along. Here.
Motion to bring up Bill 15-30.
For 33? 33. Okay. It's been properly moved and seconded to bring up Bill 1533, Hammer Down Cancer Goes Pink competition, partner, and co-sponsorship. Marley, would you like to speak about it?
Yes, I would love to speak about it. Okay, hi guys. I'm very excited to talk. I haven't talked to this at a meeting in a long time. But I know you guys talked a lot about it in caucus. I know that it almost didn't come up today, and that was a lot of confusion there. But I think that this event is a really great opportunity for all of campus. We've already got 7 different organizations working with us, including but not limited to 360, RHA, PSEB, and everyone seemed very excited about this opportunity. All of the campus orgs and different offices and Greek houses that I've talked to have all said that they're very excited to decorate their areas to raise breast cancer awareness. And plus, who doesn't love pizza? Good, you could have pizza. So, and it's such a small amount, it's only $100, exciting. Since your co-sponsorship fund is kind of dwindling slowly, I can tell. And then also, it would be mostly about having PSG members involved in the event. So I would need people to help me recruit different offices to decorate. And I would also hopefully have you guys come judge offices with me so that we can pick a winner together so that your money isn't just being used just to put stuff on t-shirts or just to make flyers. You guys are actually involved in this event. So if there's any questions, let me know. Sit back down.
Thank you, Carly.
Thank you.
Is there any further discussion? Jerry?
I think it sounds like a great event, and I'm sure that we have no problem finding
Is there any further discussion? Senator Malay?
Yeah, just a question. So the $100 goes to what again? Sorry.
The plan is that the 4 main boards that are working with me, so PISA, RSA, PSG, and the Purdue Cancer Research Center are each giving $100. And then we're gonna hopefully divvy that up equally between each cost. You can see the budget is in the attachment with the bill as a synopsis of the event and all the different orgs that are participating. PSG money will probably mainly go towards putting everybody's logos on the t-shirts that were donated by the Purdue Cancer Research Center, which is awesome because I don't have to pay to get new t-shirts, and I get a discount for that. So it's been working out really well. Honestly, I don't think that this is going to end up actually costing more than $400. If anything, it's going to cost closer to $300, so you might actually get to get like $20 back, which is kind of exciting.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we will now move to a vote. All in favor, please raise your name placards. All opposed, same sign. Abstention. So with a vote of 24, with a vote of 24-01, Bill 1533 passes. Yes, Senator Young.
Second.
And properly moved and seconded to bring up resolution 15, which one, 10? 1510. Transparency in course selection. It's amendable, debatable, and requires a majority vote. Senator Goodland, would you like to speak about your bill?
Yes,
Or resolution?
Thank you, Madam Vice President. So basically, anyone who was here last year would recognize that we co-authored a bill very similar to this last year, with the difference being that last year we tried to get grade distribution and course evaluations as well as syllabi all attached to the website that you register your courses for. So when you go and you pick out your classes, you can see more than just this is the professor's name, this is the time, here's a one-sentence description. The faculty really pushed back on that because of privacy issues involved with grade distribution and course evaluation. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to do incremental steps. We want to say, first, will we be able to have all past course syllabi, or at least the most recent past course syllabi, posted on the website? It's already available. Courses are generally required to make syllabi for their classes, and they're already online. If you go on my courses, you can see all the syllabi. So really, the biggest issue would be linking them and storing them for a year. That's about it.
Senator Romery?
I think this is a great bill that will benefit students, and I think it also goes to show the faculty that we're willing to work with them in terms of things that they didn't like. We've come back and readjusted, and it shows that this Senate is just as passionate as last year in working for our students. So I think it's a great bill. Resolutions.
Yes, Senator Cheatham?
Who's going to be following up on this after it goes through?
Senator Cheatham?
As it goes on. Make sure to take that.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we will now move to a vote. All in favor, please raise your name placards. 24. All opposed, same sign. Abstentions. Okay, so with a vote of 24-10, the resolution passes. Yes, there you go.
Motion to bring up resolution 1511.
Is been properly moved and seconded to bring up resolution 1511, updating the Purdue University scavenger hunt guidelines. Yes, Senator Malloy.
Yeah, so one of my constituents approached me about helping him write a bill about this. So he's involved in one organization in particular who he envisions seeing a scavenger hunt for. But basically, if you haven't already tried to have a scavenger hunt at Purdue in the past, it can be very difficult. So there's a number of things that they restrict you on. You can't have time limits, you can't have a winner per se, and you can only really collect a limited number of things such as brochures or official information packets about the organization or the university. So his resolution would say you can collect any sort of items as long as they're not dangerous, and he specifically was interested in signatures so that participants in a scavenger hunt could get to know other members of the organization, and that signature would be a way for them to say they got to know this person. The scavenger hunt could have a time limit because otherwise, it kind of seems weird, like an indefinite scavenger hunt. Anyway, the completion should be taken into account when offering membership into an organization. His words to me were that shows dedication and passion to join the organization. And finally, that if you're a registered student organization, you don't have to register as a scavenger hunt.
Senator Marbury?
Got a direct question to Advisor Jeff. So I don't know if you have experience in this area or not, but I know that you work with a lot of disciplinary issues. So do you foresee, obviously these rules are in here for a reason that we're suggesting get changed, so do you see any issues with that?
Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't have a lot of experience with folks in this particular realm of conduct. Most of these types of policies filter through student activities and organizations. So really, Heather or Martia may be in a better place to see what type of issues have come up in the past. The thing that I would advise is that you got to be careful to make sure that your event doesn't look like a potential hazing activity. That's where we see groups get into the most type of trouble.
Sharif?
I guess I'm a little concerned. I like the general idea of it, that we should make it so that you can do an active scavenger hunt and not test for brochures. I guess I'm a little concerned with the reasoning behind points 3 and 4. I'm not really sure why you would put on a scavenger hunt and then not make an event planning form for it, when every other student organization, student activity requires one.
Just a reminder to direct your
That is a direct question
conversation
at
to me.
Oh, Senator Malloy, sorry.
Oh, yeah. Senator Malloy?
Question, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he would not mind any amendments that anyone would propose, as long as his general thinking is it's too strict as is, but if you see something that you think is flawed, feel free to offer an amendment. But I think it's also important that we work with interested constituents. So if there's a way you think we can meet it halfway, or if you guys have suggestions that you want me to take back to him, I think that's more positive than saying simply no. So thank you.
Senator Friedland?
As someone who's had to submit numerous event forms before, I really think that striking the event form section would be meeting Purdue halfway, because event forms are there to make sure that there's this level of safety, and Purdue really has at least some sort of oversight over the type of event, what's going on, and stuff like that. Therefore, I move to amend the therefore clause to strike and then the entire fourth section about not requiring an event form.
Second.
11, in the therefore clause, striking the and everything after it.
And then I guess submitting an and before 3.
Okay. So to strike everything after the and to insert an and before the number 3. So it's been properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion about this at this time? Seeing none, we will move to a vote. All in favor of this amendment, please raise your name, Packers. All opposed, same sign. Abstentions. So with a vote of 24-1-0, the amendment passes. Is there any further discussion on the floor at this time? Yes, Senator Morrison.
Direct question to Giovanni, I guess. Why item number 1 with participants shouldn't be allowed to collect items as long as they are not, or those items are not of a dangerous nature? Does dangerous also include vulgar in this case? Because I can see how that can become a hazing issue, which is the whole point of having these rules in the first place.
I mean, I think dangerous is kind of a loose term that can be interpreted in many ways, and he didn't specify how he defined dangerous, and it would be up to the interpretation of likely somebody not in the room, but like I said, open to amendments.
Overall, I believe that the therefore clause is much too loose for us to pass. And I would like to suggest recommendation of tabling this until it is looked at and reviewed with more specifics in mind, as dangerous nature is way too broad and also doesn't understand other aspects that could be illegal, etc. And time limit, taking away the ability to not have a time limit and then allowing it to be used in cause of membership can also result in hazing issues. So I would just suggest more specifics before anything is definitively passed.
So to clarify, are you calling the question? You said to table it.
Indefinitely, or how long?
I would say table until the author is able to make a more concrete set of points in the therefore clause. So I'd say a maximum of two sessions, and potentially next session.
So it's been properly moved and seconded to table this bill. Requires a majority vote. All in favor?
What is the table like? Because could we just do indefinitely and then call it back?
Well, yeah, I mean,
Since
that's what we
don't
did.
know-
That's what we did with the mental health one. It was tabled indefinitely.
And we were able to call it back up when we were ready.
I honestly don't. Again, we can consult the Constitution if you'd like.
Actually, out of time for the resolution.
Okay, so vote on tabling it. That's where we're at. Vote on tabling it. Okay. All in favor?
For how long? What are we voting on?
Indefinitely. Yeah. Indefinitely. Indefinitely. Yeah.
Thank
We're out of time.
Well, the amendment has set time, correct? Because we're debating the amendment.
He's right.
Amendment is completely separate time.
That's
We already
right.
passed
Like each amendment has its own time.
No, we voted. Yeah. The amendment's been voted on. Sorry, I'm getting confused. The amendment's been voting on. We're voting on the bill. We're just or the resolution.
We're voting on the motion.
Yes, but we're out of time to discuss on the floor, right? Correct? Yes, so we're out of time for the resolution, but we are voting to table it. Okay, all in favor of tabling resolution 1511 indefinitely, please raise your hand, please. Oh, yeah, 2. Okay, so 23. All opposed, same sign. Okay. Abstentions. So with a vote of 23-0, it passes to table resolution 1511.
I don't think that's right.
There were 3 opposed. 3 opposed.
Well, Anna's
All
not.
the way around.
Oh, where is she in the bathroom? She abstained?
She's not here, she can't vote, so yeah.
Yeah, okay. So with 22-3,
21.
23-2-1.
There were 3 oppositions.
22.
Can we roll?
21,
Yeah,
3-1.
Can we just, let's redo it again.
It
All in
passed.
favor, please raise your name backwards. Okay, so that's gonna change it. So who else were you saying opposed to? Yeah, there's only two.
There's three.
Senator Smith, Senator Malloy, and myself, Senator Mendez.
Yeah.
Three.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, sorry. All right, we're good. So, all opposed, same sign. 3. Abstentions. So with a vote of 22-3-0, it passes to table resolution 1511. Yes, Senator.
Motion to bring up resolution 1512. Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to bring up resolution 1512, student fee advisory board vacancy extension. Is there any discussion at this time?
Yeah, so according to the SFAP rules, tomorrow he has to have the board filled, and due to some unexpected delays, the board will not be filled by tomorrow, so this is just giving them a 2-week extension. The November 1st deadline for their first meeting is still.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we will move to a vote. All in favor, please raise your name placards. Unanimous. Resolution 1512 passes unanimously. Senator Dreamwasher?
Is that all on there? No, not really. I'm just going to bring up resolution 1508.
Is there a second on the floor? So, seeing none.
Motion dies due to lack of discussion.
Yeah, it dies to lack of a second. Are there any other motions on the floor at this time?
Point of clarification, what does that mean happens to the bill? That it just won't be brought up again? It's not tabled right now.
Right.
It's
just
dead.
won't be
It's
brought
gone.
up.
It's dead.
So it's as if we had taken it up and voted on it and it had failed. It's like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Are there any other motions on the floor at this time? Second.
I move to bring up Bill 1509.
Second. Bill?
Resolution, I apologize.
Second.
Sorry.
So it's been properly moved and seconded to bring up resolution 1509, pursuit of student diversity. Is there any discussion on the floor at this time?
So this is a little project of mine using my knowledge of statistics and stuff to use new data digest numbers to prove that there is a relationship between your ethnicity essentially and your probability of being enrolled here versus not like admissions and enrollment versus like people who applied admission enrollment, just between the enrollment and the applied. So this was just a project of mine to basically say that this is a problem and that it exists and there are means to go about fixing it that are outlined in the second to last whereas clause, which maybe should be in the therefore. But essentially, yeah, it's a statement and a recommendation about this.
So, just my general feeling on the topic of affirmative action. I stand with Chief Justice John Roberts when he said the way to stop discriminating based on race is to stop discriminating based on race. So with that in mind, I mean, at least what I can see is basically an affirmative action plan. So, not in favor of it.
Okay. Sharif?
No.
No? Okay. Senator Scott?
Okay, well, I guess I understand the hesitation to accept an affirmative action program, but this isn't an affirmative action program. This problem exists. I'm not trying to support affirmative action per se. Yeah, I'm trying to have Purdue seek more scholarship opportunities for underrepresented minority groups.
Senator McNeely?
Yeah, on a campus that's like, is it the third most international students? Is that right? Correct me if I'm wrong on that statistic?
Yes, but underrepresented minority groups is more than just international.
Well, I don't think that diversity is an issue. We can have that as far as that. Okay, man. I'm sorry, you didn't know. job. I just think that maybe we can influence the clause.
Okay. Sarah McDonald?
But I think, we go to a university that likes to pride itself on diversity, and we like to pride ourselves more than I think these actually can say that we use diversity initiatives. So I'm fully for this. Also, I know personally speaking for HHS, this is a problem that we've talked with to our advisor personally about this issue and how we need to work on that in HHS. So I think
Can I entertain a motion to take a break because my contact's going
Say
out?
so.
Or what?
Yeah.
Second?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to do. I really don't. I'm sorry, guys.
So it's just a 5-minute recess.
I move for a 5-minute recess.
Second.
5 minute recess. It's been properly moved and seconded. All in favor? Please stand. Thank you. Seats again. Great. All right. Okay. Is there a second? Was there a second? Okay.
I'm sorry, what was the, point of clarification, what was the motion?
move to call the
To
question.
call a question, which requires a 2/3 vote. It's been properly moved and seconded. Yeah, yeah.
We're voting on voting.
You're voting on voting. And it requires a 2/3 vote. It's been properly moved and seconded. All in favor, please raise your name placards. What? Yeah. It's been properly moved and seconded to call the question. It requires a 2/3 vote. All in favor, please raise your name placards. So, all opposed, same sign. Abstentions? One. So, with a vote of 10, 13, 1, 11, 13, 1, the move to call the question. Yeah. Okay. So, Senator Emery?
I think that this needs more discussion, and I understand that people don't want that right now, but it just, to me, is not very clear what exactly we are recommending. So I think that there should be an amendment. I'm not proposing one myself, but I think it would be a good idea to amend and say exactly what we are supporting here so that we're all on the same page and the university is very understanding of what we support. And I don't think that in the therefore clause we really say it.
Senator Scott?
Sorry, so essentially I move to amend the bill to completely strike the second to last whereas clause and move the majority of what it says into the therefore clause.
Yeah, do you want to just write it on yours and bring it up?
Actually, can we hear what it is before?
Yeah, so what? Let's hear what my thing.
What you're doing.
Okay, so essentially, we recommended diverse. First of all, the University Office of Diversity and Inclusion doesn't exist anymore, as I've come to learn recently. So, strike that. And then instead of substantiate the effort, to seek everything that's in that whereas clause.
So to seek.
To seek incentivization, is that a word? No?
Can you write this in back? Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Seek to incentivize.
Yeah, and then pretty much everything else is the same.
Seek to incentivize what? Purdue student government?
No, everything that's in the whereas clause. So after incentivize, it's all the same.
I'm not.
So the second, the last whereas clause, saying whereas comma seek to incentivize minority group communities.
Yes. Yeah, minority group enrollment such as increased.
I thought you were striking the whereas and moving.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Can you get that out? He's moving that down and there.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
removing that whole whereas clause down to the therefore.
You got it? Okay. So is there a second on this amendment?
Point of clarification, can you please just, okay, so I understand we struck the entire whereas clause. Read the new therefore clause to me.
Okay. Therefore, be recommended that Purdue University seek to incentivize to incentivize minority group enrollment, such as increased availability or accessibility of affirmative action-based scholarships, development of cultural visibility through financial subsidy, minority group cultural centers across campus. And then it's pretty much the same. That for
Okay, is there a second? Second. It's been properly moved and seconded to amend resolution 1509. Is there a discussion on the floor at this time? Senator Young?
To be quite clear, the fact that the university office of diversity and inclusion is mentioned, which I get now that it's amended, but I could, the idea behind it is great, but I feel like it was not well thought out. The research, the numbers are there, but how it would like flow through the university was not extremely well thought out. So I'm going to make a recommendation. Well, actually, I'm not going to make a recommendation. I'm going to motion that we table it because it does seem like we're rewriting the bill entirely. That way we have time to discuss it, not on the floor, and write it properly this time.
Point of information, we're just talking about the amendment, not the resolution right now.
Oh, okay, well, so I guess I am asking everyone to table it. Because I'm still very unclear about what you're suggesting that we effectuate.
No,
Yeah, a point you made about the Office of Diversity and Inclusion being put on there, that was a recent thing this semester with Vice Provost Taylor of Diversity and Inclusion leading agents took the entire office and put it under the Provost's office. So a lot of those duties already exist in the structure that is Purdue, they're just now within the Office of Provost. The vision of diversity and inclusion.
Is there any further discussion about the amendment at this time? Seeing none, we will move to a vote. All in favor, please raise your name placards. All in favor of the amendment, to be clear. Please be like clear with your name. 5. All opposed, same sign. 7. Abstentions? So with a vote of 5, 7, 13, the amendment fails. So we are now back to just the regular resolution. Senator Getty.
thank you. So during our lovely recess, I took the time to look at Data Digest, and just for some of the senators, if you're curious, of the 30,000 undergraduate students we have at Purdue, less than 1,000 are African American, and just over 1,500 are Hispanic or Latino. Due to that, there is a problem in getting those underrepresented minorities to campus, but for the interest of time, I move to table this bill to the next meeting.
It's been properly moved and seconded to table this bill until the next meeting. Requires a majority vote. All in favor, please raise name placards. There's 2. 21. Okay, all opposed, same sign. 4. Abstentions. Okay, so With a vote of 21-4-0, the motion to table this until the next meeting passes. So there you go.
I motion to adjourn.
It's been properly moved and seconded to adjourn. It requires a 2/3 majority vote. All in favor, please raise your name placards. Okay. Unanimous vote to adjourn. Are there any announcements?
B-dubs.
B-dubs! I second that. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
So sorry,
Guys.
I was going to give a budget update, and then when I looked at the budget, it didn't print correctly, so you only see the amount budgeted. So, yeah, sorry about that. Lauren and I will make sure that we get the whole thing on there next time. There have been a few expenditures, most of which were either related to the retreat, the sponsorships passed last week, and then like some office supplies. So, that's that.
Screwing this up is done.
Alright, my only announcement is I'm sorry about my eye. And let's go to B-dubs. Alright, let's go. Thank you guys.
I have an announcement.
Sorry.
I know last caucus meeting, it was brought up about the ICAP Student Advisory Council. We are in a dire need of having those applications sent to us. So could you please encourage your constituents to apply if they're interested? Because currently we have no applications.
Also, leave your folders.
Please.
Please.
It's so hard for Lauren to fill in those.
Okay. I think that's it. Thank